committed. One word that describes 13 WREX. For 70 years, 13 News has been dedicated to bringing the state line breaking news, severe weather coverage, and impactful journalism. And we're just getting started. In 2022 alone, our team traveled thousands of miles, covering some of the region's biggest stories.
A very active scene out here tonight. You can see that smoke cloud billowing for quite a ways here.
Take a look at these images. This is from the crash, which is along I-39 northbound.
And inspirational.
Just 22 days after doctors defused the equivalent of a ticking time bomb in her head, Nicole returned home.
13 WREX goes beyond the headlines, always digging deeper to hold the powerful accountable.
As of January 1st, there will be the abolition of monetary bail.
When it comes to having voters' voices heard.
It's still a razor-tight race. This one too close and too early to call both at the same time here.
13 WREX is the state line's election authority. And since this is our home, we take pride in serving our communities.
Big thank you to the entire community from all of us here at 13 WREX. All of this will help serve thousands of families in need.
Oh, it's amazing. The tremendous support of the community.
A lot of family pride that Rockford has continued to support the Salvation Army and the children in this community.
And of course, we like to have fun.
And like that?
There you go, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
3, 2, 1, go! Woo! Here we go! This is what the Boone County Fair is all about.
And now what started as a way to find fun outside the house during COVID has become a yearly tradition for people to walk or ride to the Schultz's Holiday Light Show.
And when fall comes around, you won't see us just sitting in the stands.
A lot of happy Packer fans right now as they retain the bragging rights over the Bears. The Packers coming through with the 27-10 win on Sunday Night Football.
We're on the field, covering one of the oldest rivalries in sports. As our industry changes, we're evolving too, connecting with our community in more ways than ever. From our award-winning website to our streaming platforms and mobile apps, providing content where our communities are as we reflect our past, celebrate the present, and embrace the future. Our commitment to strive for excellence will stand for everything we do. We are 13 WREX. This is a 13 WREX original presentation. 13 WREX, 70 years of serving the state line. October 1st, 1953. WREX-TV is live. And since that historic day, a commitment was made. Provide quality journalism and programming to the Rockford region. And for 7 decades, we haven't stopped. Passing the torch from one generation to another. Owning the big stories, locally, nationally, and around the world. Evolving, embracing new technology, bringing content to you, wherever, whenever. Join us as we celebrate our past and give you a glimpse of what's to come. As 13 WREX celebrates its platinum anniversary.
13 WREX is celebrating a milestone, 70 years of broadcasting, which means 70 years of serving you, our community, the state line. Hello, I'm Brittany Hardaway.
And I'm Derek Bain. Our history started in the early 1950s when 6 men came together to start Rockford's second television station. But even though we were not first on the air when our tower turned on, it became a game changer. More than 70 years ago, a field in far western Winnebago County went from a family farm to a massive construction site. Where crops once sprouted out of the soil, massive steel beams, including a 650-foot television tower, were formed and welded together, solidifying what is now home to 13 WREX.
First known as Greater Rockford Television, Inc., the station came from humble beginnings. 6 men, seen in this photo of the station's groundbreaking, coming together to form Rockford's second television station, but with a twist. It will be more powerful than its competitor, broadcasting in what's known as VHF, very high frequency, full-powered broadcast television station, meaning its reach could be seen more than 100 miles away from its tower. In cities like Madison, Wisconsin, Elgin, Illinois, and even parts of eastern Iowa. The station granted its broadcast license by the FCC in May of 1953 and would use the call letters WREX-TV. The name dedicated to the memory of Rex Incaster, son of the station's president. Rex, a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army, died serving our country and Western France in the height of World War II. To this day, a plaque and his Purple Heart are displayed in our front lobby, honoring him and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Now an NBC affiliate, 13 WREX was not always a member of the Peacock family. Originally, the station was affiliated with ABC, CBS, and the Dumont television networks. As more television stations were established in the Rockford television market, 13 WREX became a full-time ABC affiliate, which ended in 1995 when the station became a member of the National Broadcasting Company. Since its inception, 13 WREX has been involved in our communities through triumph and tragedy. That includes the 1967 Belvedere tornado. Following the destructive storm, 13 WREX launched Operation Belvedere along with our stateline colleagues. The stations held a telethon right out of the 13 WREX studios, raising money and rallying support for the people of Boone County, a community commitment that still lives on today.
When it comes to local news, 13 WREX has had a rich history of delivering quality journalism. Though the faces and platforms of delivering news has changed, our team's commitment has not, which is reflected by the numerous awards and distinctions displayed at the station. 13 WREX is owned and operated by Allen Media Broadcasting, founded by Byron Allen. The station's ownership has only changed a handful of times, first from Greater Rockford Television, Inc. to the Gannett Group. Then in 1969, the station was purchased by Gilmore Broadcasting, which then sold the station to ML Media Partners in 1989. Then in the mid-90s, Quincy Media purchased the station until it was sold to A&B in 2021.
Throughout our history, we have evolved from broadcasting in black and white to color, to digital, and now high definition. How we deliver you the news and programming has also changed. Not only can you get us on your television, but also on your computer, smartphone, and streaming platform.
As we celebrate and reflect on our past from that former field, which is now a community cornerstone.
And embrace the future. There is one thing that won't change.
Our commitment to the state line and communities we call home. We are 13 WREX.
You might not think twice about a TV station's call letters, but WREX has a special significance behind it. It's a story of honor and courage and keeping a legacy alive. Where Auburn and Winnebago roads meet, the 13 WREX sign brightens up the countryside with the NBC Peacock logo. Zoom in on REX and the story gets a little more purple.
It was found accidentally in Wisconsin.
A Purple Heart found in a box at a community theater.
The name on the back meant nothing to any of us. He was no one from our community that we could find.
The military decoration belonged to Rex Caster, the son of one of WREX's founders. The station is named after him, making sure his story is never forgotten.
It's a wonderful tribute to him. I'm glad to see the plaque here in the entryway. It's nice people walk in the building and see who he is and what he was all about.
Terry Burt of the Wisconsin Leathernecks Motorcycle Club brought the Purple Heart from Wisconsin to Rockford, where WREX tried to get it into the hands of Rex Caster's relatives.
All I'm doing is I'm the delivery boy. I'm just making sure it gets to somebody who'll take care of it. It belongs in a better place in a box or my desk drawer.
Steve Gowen's great-great-grandma was the sister of Rex Caster's great-grandma. He came from California to Rockford to get a first-hand look at Rex's Purple Heart.
He's special, and I'm thrilled to be able to accept his medal and to also leave it here in Rockford for others to see and have them inspired by it.
Steve wants the medal to remain at WREX, the station that bears his relative's name.
I was doing the research and I saw that there was actually a TV station named after him, that his dad started the station and he applied to the FCC in honor of his son to have his name up there. That was special.
Steve wrote a book to commemorate his family history, including a chapter on Rex Caster and how he earned his Purple Heart.
Took a couple of squads of riflemen to a house that was infiltrated with Germans to try to take that house out. And he kept moving closer and closer to it because he had not taken everybody out. And at one point, he was shot and killed. It was a very nice thing for them to do there.
Just getting a look at WREX and the Purple Heart gives Steve a moment to reflect.
Just to think about how this country would be different if we didn't have men like Rex to go over there and fight for our freedom.
The Purple Heart now has a permanent home and place to be displayed after sitting in a box for who knows how long.
I thought the proper place for it was here, and to touch it for just a little while, you know, it is humbling, you know, what he gave, and knowing that when he left in 1943, he never came back, you know, and he had a full life here with plenty of reason to want to come back, a fiance waiting for him, and he never made it, but he did his country and his hometown Rockford proud.
And WREX is proud to honor a man who gave the ultimate sacrifice to make sure we can freely broadcast the news to Northern Illinois every day. Well, it was quite the journey to get the Purple Heart from a box in a community theater in La Crosse, Wisconsin, into the hands of the family and now permanently displayed at 13 WREX. Rex Caster still was also awarded a Silver Star for his bravery as well. Impressive man.
Yeah, love to see we honor his name. And coming up, giving a voice to the voiceless and holding the powerful accountable. How 13 Investigates has impacted our community and the stories our team, past and present, has uncovered that have sparked change. 13 WREX has been dedicated to covering the biggest stories that impact you for the past 70 years. But just 5 years ago, we doubled down, knowing the only true way to keep you informed and hold the powerful accountable was with a team of journalists dedicated to investigative reporting. Here's William Ingalls.
13 Investigates looks into a lack of student retention and the problem of students failing the grade.
Joliet, Springfield, Peoria, and Aurora all had fewer than half the number of murders that we've seen in Rockford so far in 2020.
We wanted to dig deeper and find out if other school districts in our area are testing. We found they're not.
For years, when you've called, 13 Investigates has answered. Whether it was students who needed a voice to fight back against racist messages from their classmates.
How many of you feel the school district is aware there's a racism problem?
They are. We had a meeting about it.
Or a family desperate for answers after Freeport couldn't find where their loved one was buried.
You find a final resting place. That should be a final resting place. It shouldn't be a secret.
The Investigates team was also instrumental in holding people in power accountable. We asked the hard questions when radon testing at our local schools didn't come anywhere close to state recommendations.
That's totally irresponsible to test only 3 schools in that period of time.
We demanded answers when people came to us asking about potential excessive use of force by Belvedere police.
I put my hand behind my back and he was still hitting me.
When most coverage stopped on Chemtool, we kept digging and exposed the company neglected years of warnings for their lack of fire suppression equipment.
We knew for a fact that if there was anything of significance there, it was going to be a big incident, and unfortunately it happened.
We dove into the numbers and possible solutions for the most violent stretch of Rockford's history, when getting away with murder was more likely than guessing heads or tails.
You shot at us, we're shooting at you. You killed him, we're going to kill one of you.
When a state trooper was hit and killed on US 20, we showed how important Scott's Law was for the people who put their lives on the line.
To make sure that this offense is treated more seriously by law enforcement, by prosecutors, and most importantly, treated more seriously by the public.
And we shined a light on domestic violence in our community, empowering survivors to share their stories and help others get away from their abusers.
The Mayor's March, the WREX series on domestic violence, and town hall forums are just essential. They are the fundamentals of the building blocks to move forward from. And so the level of awareness that these things raised, we just cannot overstate those.
13 Investigates started as a platform to bring you in-depth stories that create change. And as 13 WREX celebrates 70 years of serving you, 13 Investigates will continue our work, looking into the stories you care about and holding the powerful accountable.
And that was our William Ingalls reporting for us. If you've missed any of our award-winning investigations, they're posted right now on the 13 WREX streaming app for you to watch.
Now to our trivia question, and for those of you who know 13 WREX best, the answer, well, it's going to bring back a lot of memories. To this day, who holds the title of the longest-serving employee of WREX-TV, spanning almost 60 years? That's right, 60 years. The answer, when we return.
We're back with our trivia question, where we asked to this day who holds the title of the longest-serving employee of WREX-TV, spanning almost 60 years. The answer? Jerry Minders, our former chief engineer. Jerry passed away last year, and we miss him. He was a mentor, a great mentor, a co-worker, and most of all, a friend to us all.
Yeah, I got to work with him about a decade. Just a very special man. Basically built the station. Every day now, we bring you the top headlines, weather, and sports news that impacts you.
But just as important is our service to the community. Take a look.
Over these last 25 years, with your guys' help with this toy drive, with 12 Hours of Salvation, over 211,000 toys have been given. Annually, that's over 8,400 toys a year for 25 years. I was thinking, the gift that keeps on giving.
Being of service is the cornerstone of 13 WREX. We're not only dedicated to providing coverage you can count on, but that same commitment rings true to the people in our community. A check for $1,500. As we celebrate 70 years, we're highlighting our continued push of community service. You've seen the 13 WREX team collecting toys during the holidays, filling pantry shelves with food donations, and making sure local students have the supplies they need for back to school.
The partnership with WREX has been huge for us. This was our third year this year, and each year it gets bigger and bigger. We collected so many school supplies for area school kids. We collected the school supplies for Rockford, Belvedere, Freeport, Harlem, and Kinnick schools.
And the work doesn't stop. 13 WREX is making an impact across the state line, like the Freeport Food Drive, where we collect literally tons of food for families in need.
It was amazing. You guys did such a wonderful job. It allowed us to get the word out to the community. I don't know how else Freeport could have found out, and all of the other surrounding towns, to be able to come in, drop off those food items all day long, and you guys were there right up to the very end. 13
WREX started the Freeport Food Drive in 2014 when Freeport food pantries were at risk of closing due to a food shortage. Since then, we've made it our mission to make each food drive bigger and better than the last.
Came in and looked around, and I was in awe, like, wow.
All of the food and monetary donations support the Freeport Area Church Co-op, where donations stay in the Freeport area for local families.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And when the holidays come around, 13 WREX is always front and center. With your help, we make sure kids across the area have a present to open Christmas morning during our 12 Hours of Salvation toy drive.
We have our development director at our divisional office, my boss's office. When we sent them the footage and what had happened on that one day for 12 hours of salvation, they were amazed. They're like, we have not seen anything like this in the Midwest for the Salvation Army. They were overwhelmed with how much coverage we were able to have, the story you were able to help us tell of the need in our community, and they were floored. We were floored.
We're always there with open hearts, ready to make a difference no matter the time or the place.
We had people running in right up to the last minute, dropping off bags, and there you guys were right up there to the very end with us.
Goodwill's partnership with WREX has been fantastic. I mean, without you guys, we couldn't raise all the school supplies that we do and create all the awareness, and it just aligns with Goodwill's mission to a T. It's been fantastic.
It's like Christmas morning all over again when the new staff gets here, so it's fun because everybody, it's not just like, hey, I'm here to do my job, help me do it. They're like, I'm here, let's do even better. You know, so it's very fun and exciting that the staff are so, it's not just a job.
Celebrating 70 years of service and looking forward to 70 more. And everything we do isn't possible without your generosity. We thank all of you at home for your giving spirits, and we can't wait to see you for our next service event. 70 years of broadcasting also means 70 years of people working at WREX.
It's always the people that make a place special. Some old friends share some of their favorite memories of working at WREX.
I jumped out of a plane when I was working at WREX. I also flew with the Blue Angels in an F-16.
When I was pregnant with my son, my water broke at the station. The fact that you can tell your son, you know, hey, mom and dad got married or got engaged on air is pretty unique, and that's something that so many people still to this day come up to me and go, I remember when you got engaged on air. I remember that so well. That was so cool.
I remember one of the producers, Mikey Costello. He and I would have this thing when I was doing the weather, and he would count in my ear from like 3 minutes all the way down just to see if I would laugh or I would break.
A year into my tenure, the student section at Rockford Lutheran made me their theme for one of their boys' basketball games that night. That photo is something that I still show people, and they look at me and ask me, how in the world did you pull that off? And I really give them an honest answer. I developed relationships, and when you show up, people notice.
So fun to hear from some of our old friends.
Yeah, you can catch full interviews with all of them and more on our special 70th anniversary section of WREX.com. Thanks for joining us for this 13 WREX original presentation.
From all of us here at 13 WREX, thank you for watching and thank you for making us a part of your family.